Gemini, I hope you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and take a look at what may be going on for you in November 2025. Show me Gemini for November 2025. You have the Four of Wands in your energy. This is a very happy-go-lucky, festive energy. You could be going out a lot, getting out of the house, things like that. It could also be something stable in a relationship. The Knight of Wands is your challenge. It's asking you to take action towards something that you're passionate about. It's asking you to be optimistic, have a little bit of fun, which I think you're already following this advice. From what I can see, we obviously have to clarify. Then we have the King of Swords for the recent past. So this was probably around October. I'm kind of feeling like you maybe bought somebody's advice that you shouldn't have, or maybe you were gaslit into a situation. It just feels like misinformation, honestly, or manipulation. The Death card in the near future. Well, I'm not saying you're having a death in the family or anything, but this can usually mean that something external from you is creating a huge change or forcing some kind of ending or forcing some kind of evolution. What's going on in your mind is the Ace of Swords. You seem to be pretty clear-headed. Like whatever this not really understanding about the past or feeling like you were manipulated, I don't feel like that's anymore. Even though your ruler, Mercury is retrograde, you seem to still have your head on straight. Maybe for some of you, you have Mercury retrograde natally in your chart. Like for me, I have Jupiter retrograde in my chart. And I know that when Jupiter goes retrograde, I actually tend to benefit while everybody who has Jupiter, direct in their chart is kind of crumbling. So it seems like you guys are holding up pretty well during the Mercury retrograde. The sun reversed in your subconscious, even when the sun is reversed, it's still inherently positive. So I still feel like it has a positive connotation to it. It can just be that maybe you feel like there's something that you can't see. Maybe you feel like there's something you can't grasp, like maybe it's your sense of creativity or your own personal self-expression. We'll obviously have to see. Your advice is the Two of Cups reversed. Well, to be just literal, it can be that you actually need to disconnect from somebody to get a better understanding of yourself, of the relationship. It can be asking you to open up to mutual understanding. We'll obviously have to see what the cards say. Then we have the Queen of Cups for somebody external from you. All right. This to me looks like somebody who may be in love with you. For some of you, maybe it's a same-sex relationship. For others of you, it can just be that there's somebody here who cares for you deeply. It doesn't have to be romantic. And they're affecting you. So the Five of Cups reversed. This is for your hopes and or fears. So you want to let go of the past. You want to release the past. The Justice reversed for the outcome. Justice reversed definitely is not my favorite for the outcome because it can talk about something not being mutual or some kind of maybe it's negative karma but maybe it's just an indecision. The King of Pentacles is the theme for the reading. So maybe needing to get your finances up a little bit. Okay. I can definitely see that. Needing to create a very stable foundation for yourself. It can be in regards to a relationship. So let's go ahead and clarify. Tell me about that Four of Wands. The Two of Swords. For some of you, you are trying to like go out and like party or go to festivals or clubs or whatever it may be, or you're getting out of the house to maybe kind of distract yourself a little bit is what I'm getting with that Two of Swords. Maybe you're just trying to find some peace. You know what I'm saying? Give me one more on that. The High Priestess. Speaking of peace. Wow. I mean, you seem to be pretty aware, Gemini. I mean, with the Ace of Swords in your mind and then the High Priestess in your energy, I mean, this is when the intuitive part of ourselves meets the logical mind. What's that Two of Swords about? The Two of Pentacles reversed. I really think you're at this point where you don't want to bite off more than you can chew. You don't want to take on more than you really want to, or that you quite frankly can. So to me, it seems like you're more so just, you know what, I want my peace. Maybe it's like, I just want to focus on my friendships and meditation and spirituality. I don't need a boyfriend or I don't need a girlfriend to pile on top of everything else I already have going on. I don't need it. I'm good. Like you seem to be pretty at peace with things, and you're making sure that you don't invite people maybe into your life or take on more jobs than you can really handle, whatever it may be. So to me, you seem to have your head on pretty straight. God, this is like so annoying. I'm not trying to show you the girls. Okay. Hmm. Well, I think it's interesting that your theme is the King of Pentacles. And then your challenge is the Knight of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles reversed. So this can represent a couple of different things. Okay. This can either A, represent you or another person who is not taking something seriously enough, whether that's a relationship or whether it's your legacy, a business, something like that. It's all fun and games until everything else kind of fails around us, right? So it can be saying that you're needing to be more serious about where you see yourself in 10 years, 5 years, whatever. For others of you, there can be somebody around you who is, maybe they're a good time, right? All of that, that's all well and good, but maybe you really don't see a future with this person. And it may be asking you to like be honest with yourself about that. It can also be, okay, I know a lot of scenarios. It can also be where you're very passionate about something, but you're not realizing you can actually take that passion and channel it to be able to make money off of it. If that's something you want, or capitalize off of it, or, turn it into something that's going to last. What's the guidance for that? The Queen of Wands reverse. So you're needing to assert yourself. You're needing to show up, show out. You're needing to build something that you want to build and take action towards that thing, regardless of what other people say. Because I definitely think that something that you're wanting, people may have something to say about it. Now, I'm not talking about like, oh, I really want to be with, my boyfriend Teddy, who lives in his mom's basement and smokes meth every day. Not talking about Teddy, right? That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about like you really want to be a tarot reader, but people have something to say about it. Okay, and now what? Like, so let's see that King of Swords reversed for the past, the Four of Cups reversed, the Hermit. Ooh, something definitely made you kind of question a person, maybe. There could have been somebody in your life that made you question yourself specifically. Like, for instance, maybe you were in a relationship. Let's be super cliche, right? Let's say you were in a relationship and you had somebody who was constantly gaslighting you, pumping your brain full of crap. And you were like, wow. And then finally, like, they just said something. They just said something like abusive or whatever, that you were on your last leg. And you're like, okay, I think that I have to do some serious reflection on why I'm still letting this person into my life. Like, what is going on? Why am I like this? Why do I accept this? Or maybe you were doing that. Okay, maybe you said some things and you're like, you know what? I really got to check myself. Okay, so it could have been something around there. The Ace of Swords for what's going on in your mind with the Knight of Wands. Well, the Knight of Wands is your challenge. So I think that a lot of you guys have some kind of spark of an idea and you need to do something with it. Like, I'm so dead ass, like, I'm so serious. There's something that you have in your mind and you know what it is and you need to do it, and you need to do it. An ace in the upright is an absolute hell yes. What is the guidance for this? The 10 of Cups reversed. Again, there may be an issue around putting too much stock in what your family thinks about this idea. Or I'm not saying, if you want to go sell Coke across the country, that like, oh, well, you shouldn't listen to what other people say about it. You should just go do it. That is not what I'm saying. Okay. I'm talking about like, maybe you want to be a bodybuilder. Maybe you want to write a book, or maybe you want to be an actor or an actress, or whatever your idea is. Maybe you have a great idea for a screenplay, or, okay, just like, go for it. Because sometimes the 10 of Pentacles reverse and the 10 of Cups reverse, it can be where we put too much stock in what our family thinks or what our partners think or whatever the case is. Okay, so run with that idea, baby. You have the Death card for December. Wow, the Wheel of Fortune. What is the Death card about? The Five of Cups. So some kind of regret. I mean, this is in your hopes anyway. I mean, you were hoping for this. You were waiting for this. You wanted this. You want this right now. You either want forgiveness or you want to forgive. You want to be able to let go of the past and actually make something of yourself. And now here is your chance. Ding, ding, ding. We got ourselves a winner. There you go. This is your chance and you're taking it. You're making the necessary changes and you're able to come to terms with something, someone, something from the past, and you're able to evolve into something bigger. Wheel of Fortune is really good. It's positive karma, it's moving forward, and it's because you're allowing the ending. It's because or it's because you're allowing the change. You're allowing the evolution to take place, and therefore the universe, God, is supporting you and allowing you to move forward. For some of you, something about your beliefs might change. Something about your belief system. I heard an upgrade. Upgrade. Sometimes stuff just comes into my head and doesn't mean that I need to say them. Didn't get that memo a lot in life. But I need to say it when I'm doing these, okay? Because it's for somebody. The sun reversed in your subconscious. Well, this is kind of like what's going on under the surface, and you may not be aware of it all the time, you know? But you do want to build something that comes right from your place of creative expression. You know, I think that you guys are a really hard worker. Like when you really want to get something done, I really think that you can, but sometimes you may not have enough confidence. What is the guidance for that? The Two of Cups reversed. Interesting, because that is in your vice. And this is about your subconscious. But what you don't realize is that even when you're not feeling confident, you still have the ability to push through, and you gain courage through that pushing through. And then that's when your confidence comes, if you allow it, which I think that you should. But there's also something about you needing to either use a breakup as fuel for this idea, or you're needing to figure out how to connect with yourself on a higher level, an emotional level, they said. Okay, so on an emotional level. And sometimes like I went through a breakup, okay? And like I'm an INFP baby, all right? I'm super emotional. I got my moon in my first house, okay? My ruler is in Scorpio. Please don't play with me. But somehow I met somebody that ruined me so bad. They stripped almost all the emotion out of me. I mean, I had nothing, baby. I couldn't write a poem to save my life. It was pathetic. Okay. And what I had to do was I had to put on the saddest fucking music possible. Okay. I had to watch movies that I knew would trigger an emotional response from me. And I had to feel, baby. That's what I had to do. I had to feel. I had to force myself to feel again. I was like, bitch, you're gonna feel these feelings, whether you like it or not. And I think that's something that you guys are needing to do. Because I think that even if it's like inspiration that is drawn from sadness, it is still power that is transmuted from something that may have not felt so useful to you at the time. So let's see that Two of Cups reversed. The moon, I'm telling you. What did I just say? You're not listening. I'm just kidding. You guys need to feel it, baby. Those fears, those fears you have, those scary feelings that, I don't know, maybe it's trauma. I don't know what it is, but connect with it. That's your nugget. That's your golden nugget. You know, my writing teacher, my screenwriting teacher, when I took screenwriting one, he was like, he was talking to the class and he was like, you guys have to find your nugget. You guys can write about whatever the hell you want, but there's something in you that every writer has, every artist has, that is the golden nugget. That is your story. It's that thing that changed you, means something to you, you know, and you have to go in search of it. And sometimes that means you have to get in touch with some really uncomfortable emotions, you know, and you have to let yourself feel those things. I just heard there's a stability in that. Okay, whatever. Is somebody around you that could be affecting you? Ooh, somebody at a distance, maybe, with that Queen of Cups and that Eight of Wands. This is clearly love. Okay, for most of you, it doesn't have to be romantic. Certainly can. The Queen of Cups with the Eight of Wands. This person's communicating with you. What are they saying to Gemini? The Knight of Pentacles reverse? They want something to be more grounded. They want more of a commitment, maybe. This can also be somebody who is trying to move forward with something that you guys were attempting to work on. What's the guidance for this? The Hierophant. Ooh, there's something about a commitment here. You're needing to honor some kind of commitment. Ooh, Gemini, I don't know, buddy. There's a commitment that you're needing to honor. Okay. Let me know how it goes. Your hopes and or fears. I just heard Everything I Wanted by Billie Eilish. The Five of Cups reversed and the Nine of Cups reversed. I got everything I wanted. You with me. I'm here. You don't have to worry. I'm not a singer. Okay. You may hope that somebody will forgive you. Or you may hope that you can forgive someone else, or maybe that someone will apologize, but you're afraid that you won't get that, basically. That's really what it is. What's the guidance for that? The Ten of Wands reversed. Let it go if you don't have to carry it. Honestly, you may be like, I know this is hard to hear, okay, but you may be making something a little bit harder on yourself, like maybe in the way that you think about it, you know, maybe in the way that you talk to yourself about it. Like, you don't need to make things, life is already hard, baby. That's a guarantee. You can guarantee that life is going to be hard, but you have to live and die with yourself. You have to live with yourself every day. You should know yourself more than anyone else. That can be a good thing. But you have to be able to use that knowledge as a tool. Like, for instance, if you know, right, if you know that watching like stuff on politics right now is like, it brings you a lot of anxiety and gives you panic attacks, you should know yourself well enough to not be watching that right now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that's a really stupid example, but don't make life harder on yourself. You just don't need it. We have Justice reversed with the Knight of Cups. Why is the Justice reversed? The King of Wands. Oh. Okay. Some of you have two options. In my opinion, some of you got a couple of options. You wouldn't be an air sign if you didn't. No, I'm just kidding. You guys do have a couple of options, I think. What is the guidance for this? The Five of Wands. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God, don't do it. Don't get yourself in a bunch of crap, baby. You know, don't, you know, it reminds me of when this guy got my number at a bar, and then the other guy, I was like 23, give me a break, all right? And then this other guy ended up wanting to take me out. It was at the same bar, whatever. I wasn't committed to either of them. I could do what I want, in my opinion. I was such a fuck girl, honestly. I was terrible. Oh my God. Anyway, so I ended up going to the bar with this other guy, and the other guy follows us there. Anyway, needless to say, long story short, the guy I left with ended up punching the other guy in the face, and the guy lost his teeth. And I was like, all right, well, I'm never seeing either one of you again. And so, like, whatever you can do to avoid that situation. Of course, I'm not saying it's that dramatic. I would do it. Even if you know, you are the person where you are trying to pursue somebody else and they may have a couple of people, like, if you don't want to be an option, then don't be. Okay? Or if you don't want to be an option, then, like, if a guy wants to be with me, or a girl, like, show me why, because I'm happy on my own. I'm good on my own. I'm so much peace. I don't worry about anybody, right, cheating on me or lying to me or manipulating me. And so, you, like, if you're the one in pursuit and this other person has a couple of options, ask yourself, either what am I bringing to this person that is going to enrich their life, especially if you're a dude, okay? If you're a woman too. But if you are on the receiving end, you know, and you feel like, this person, I don't know how this person could actually bring me peace or make my life better. Having a relationship should make your life better, not worse. And so it may be like needing to kind of question that. So yeah. Let me get off my high horse. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Okay. Fixed. Interesting. Keep going. Again, I think you guys have a really great idea about something and you need to fixate on it, I think. Like that, like you don't realize it. But you may feel like you're in the dark and you feel like you can't really see the end in sight. You may have been going through a very tough period, but you don't realize that you're almost there. You're almost out of it. And I need you to like know that. Okay. So keep going. Vortex of change. Engage with the vortex of change where energies swirl in transformative dances molding anew. Well, I was already getting that here. This I feel could be considered the vortex of change a little bit, that wheel of fortune. Okay. I really do. I think that you're going to see probably after this month, things are going to start to make more sense to you. You're going to have a higher understanding of something. And don't think just because you can't see a way out or you don't see like the light at the end of the tunnel that it's not there, because it is. I love you, Gemini. Enjoy your November. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website at www.violettaalexis.com. If you would like to book a scheduled session with me, that's where you'll see when I'm available, where you can either book ahead of time or you can contact me Tipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. All of that information can be found in the description box below or in the pinned comment in the chat. Thanks a lot, you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great mid-October.